Our story begins in a house that hummed with the gentle rhythm of night. It wasn't a grand house, nor a small one, but a home where comfort settled like dust motes dancing in the last rays of twilight. And in this house lived a cat, not just any cat, but a very special cat named Luna. Luna wasn't known for her playful antics or her daring escapades. No, Luna was known for her profound and unwavering dedication to the art of sleep. She was, in every sense of the word, a sleepy cat. Her fur, the color of a moonless night sky, was perpetually soft, inviting a touch that promised warmth and tranquility. Her eyes, when they were open, were the color of warm honey, often half-closed in a perpetual state of slumber. As the sun dipped below the horizon each evening, painting the sky in hues of lavender and rose, Luna would begin her nightly ritual. It wasn't a hurried affair, but a slow, deliberate winding down, a gentle surrender to the approaching quiet. First, she would stretch a long, luxurious stretch that began at the tips of her paws and rippled through her entire body, ending with a contented sigh. Then, she would find her spot. Sometimes it was the soft velvet armchair by the unlit fireplace, still holding the faint memory of warmth from the day. Other times, it was a sun-warmed patch on the rug, where the last vestiges of daylight lingered like a whispered secret. But most often, it was by the window, where she could watch the stars slowly prickle the inky canvas of the sky. Tonight. However, Luna chose the old wooden chest at the foot of the bed, a chest filled with forgotten blankets and the scent of lavender and cedar. She kneaded the softest blanket with her paws, a rhythmic, comforting motion that spoke of deep contentment, before circling thrice and settling into a perfectly round, purring ball. Her purr, a low resonant rumble, was like a gentle lullaby, a sound that promised calm sleep to anyone within earshot. It was the kind of purr that could soothe away the anxieties of the day, a soft, vibrating melody that resonated deep within your chest. The house, usually bustling with the quiet sounds of evening, seemed to hold its breath as Luna settled. Even the old grandfather clock in the hallway seemed to tick a little softer, its chimes a little gentler. There was a sense of anticipation in the air, a hushed understanding that when Luna slept, a special kind of magic unfurled. Now, Luna wasn't just a sleepy cat. She was a dream weaver, not in the way a spider spins its web, but in a far more subtle, ethereal manner. When Luna truly sank into the depths of her slumber, her dreams would ripple out, like tiny waves in a still pond, touching the edges of the human dreams in the house. And tonight her dreams were particularly vivid, particularly potent, as the hours drifted by, carried on the soft currents of the night. Luna's breathing deepened, her purr a steady, unwavering hum. Outside, the moon climbed higher, casting long, silvery shadows that danced with the whispers of the wind. A gentle breeze sighed through the open window, carrying the sweet scent of night-blooming jasmine and the faint, earthy aroma of damp soil. Suddenly, a tiny, almost imperceptible shift in the air. It wasn't a sound, not exactly, but more of a feeling, a subtle change in the pressure, like a distant whisper, just beyond hearing. Luna's whiskers twitched, ever so slightly, and a soft sigh escaped her lips. Was she dreaming of chasing a particularly juicy field mouse under a full moon? Or perhaps, of endless bowls of cream, cool and rich? Her dreams, we must understand, were not like ours. They were vast landscapes of possibility, realms where logic bent and reality softened. Tonight, Luna was dreaming of the great sleep labyrinth. It was a place only accessible in the deepest, most tranquil sleep, a labyrinth woven from moonbeams and stardust, its walls shimmering with the forgotten memories of countless peaceful nights. As Luna delved deeper into this dream, a faint, almost invisible glow began to emanate from her, a soft, pearlescent aura that pulsed with the rhythm of her steady breathing. It was so subtle, you might miss it if you weren't looking very, very closely, but it was there, a testament to the quiet power contained within this sleepy creature inside the labyrinth. Luna wasn't a cat. She was a silent guardian, a keeper of dreams. She moved with effortless grace through the winding passages, her paws making no sound on the shimmering floor. The air within the labyrinth was cool and sweet, scented with the essence of tranquility and the faint, nostalgic aroma of old books and warm milk. Each turn in the labyrinth led to a new chamber, a new landscape of slumber. One chamber might be filled with the gentle lapping of waves on a distant shore, another with the soft rustle of autumn leaves, and yet another with the comforting crackle of a distant fireplace. But tonight, there was a faint disturbance in the labyrinth, a tiny tremor in the otherwise perfect stillness. It was like a single, discordant note in a beautiful symphony. Luna, even in her profound sleep, sensed it. Her dream self paused, her ears swiveling, not to hear a sound, but to feel the subtle vibration of unease. It was a lost dream, a dream that had wandered off its path, a wisp of a thought that had become tangled in the labyrinth's softer edges. It wasn't a nightmare, not at all, but a dream yearning for completion, a story untold. It was a dream of a forgotten melody, a tune that once brought solace, but had now faded into the background. Luna, the sleepy cat, the dream weaver, knew what she had to do. She began to follow the faint thread of this lost dream, her ethereal form gliding through the shimmering passages. The further she went, the stronger the subtle feeling of yearning became, like a gentle tug on her dream consciousness. She passed through chambers of forgotten whispers and rooms filled with the echoes of distant laughter, always following the faint, insistent pull. The air grew ever so slightly cooler as she approached, and a soft melancholic hum vibrated through the dream labyrinth. Finally, she arrived at a chamber unlike the others. It was bathed in a soft twilight glow, and in its center hovered a shimmering, incomplete melody. It pulsed with a gentle sadness, a longing to be heard, to be remembered. It was a lullaby, half forgotten, half sung, waiting for its final notes. Luna, in her dream form, reached out a paw, a gesture of profound empathy. As her paw touched the shimmering melody, a warmth spread through the chamber, and the melancholic hum began to soften, to find its rhythm. The melody began to unfold, note by beautiful note, filling the chamber with a sound that was both ancient and new, a sound of comfort and peace. It was the lullaby that the grandmother in the house used to sing to her children, a melody she had nearly forgotten in the hustle and bustle of her waking life. But in the quiet hours of the night, in the gentle embrace of sleep, the melody had yearned to be remembered, and Luna, the sleepy cat, had found it. As the lullaby played out in Luna's dream, it resonated through the entire house. The grandmother, sleeping peacefully in her bed, stirred faintly, a soft smile gracing her lips. A forgotten warmth spread through her, a memory of soft embraces and gentle whispers. The little child in the next room, who had been tossing and turning with a restless energy, settled deeper into their pillow, a sigh of contentment escaping their lips. Even the houseplants seemed to unfurl their leaves a little more, basking in the diffused tranquility. Luna's dream continued, the lullaby now fully formed, a complete and beautiful melody that echoed through the labyrinth, bringing solace to every corner. Her purr, back in the waking world, deepened, becoming even more resonant, more imbued with the magic of her dream. The air in the house grew heavier with peace, thick with the promise of calm sleep. The hours continued to stretch, each one dissolving into the next with effortless grace. The late-night stories unfolded, not in words, but in the quiet vibrations of Luna's slumber. The moon began its slow descent, preparing to yield its reign to the sun. The air outside grew cooler, carrying the fresh, crisp scent of pre-dawn. Luna's dream self, having guided the lost lullaby back to its rightful place, now began its slow return from the great sleep labyrinth. The shimmering passages began to blur, the ethereal landscapes softening at their edges. The sense of profound quiet deepened, a peaceful hush that enveloped everything. She moved with a sense of completion, a gentle satisfaction that settled deep within her. Back in the waking world, Luna's breathing remained steady and deep, her purr a continuous, soothing murmur. Her tiny paws twitched occasionally, perhaps chasing the last echoes of a particularly beautiful dream. The pearlescent glow around her, though still faint, pulsed with a gentle, contented energy. As the first hint of pale light began to paint the eastern sky, a subtle shift occurred. The air in the house, which had been thick with the dreams of the night, began to thin, to lighten. The scent of jasmine slowly gave way to the faint aroma of dukes grass. The silence, though still profound, took on a slightly different quality, a hint of awakening. Luna, sensing the approaching dawn even in her deepest sleep, began her slow ascent back to the waking world. It wasn't an abrupt awakening, but a gradual, gentle unfurling, like a flower slowly opening its petals to the morning sun. Her whiskers twitched more frequently, her ears swiveled, not yet fully awake, but listening to the quiet murmurs of the waking world. A soft sigh escaped her lips, a sound of profound contentment, of a night well spent in the service of dreams. Her eyes, those warm honey-colored pools, slowly, reluctantly, fluttered open. For a moment, they were still filled with the lingering echoes of the great sleep labyrinth, with the shimmer of moonbeams and the whispers of forgotten lullabies. Then, slowly, the everyday world began to filter in. She stretched again. A long, luxurious stretch, this one even more languid than her evening one, as if to fully re-engage with her physical form. Her claws extended and retracted, a soft kneading motion against the blanket beneath her. A delicate yawn escaped her, revealing a tiny pink tongue and pearly white teeth. It was a yawn that stretched not just her jaw, but her entire being, releasing the last vestiges of slumber as the sun's first golden rays streamed through the window, painting stripes of warmth across the floor. Luna finally uncurled herself. She sat up, her posture regal and poised, and began a slow, meticulous grooming session. Each lick of her paw, each stroke of her fur, was deliberate, a ritual of purification and re-engagement with the world. The grandmother in the house woke, with a feeling of profound peace, a sense of well-being that settled deep in her bones. She couldn't quite place the feeling, but it was there, a quiet joy, a forgotten melody playing softly in the background of her mind. The child in the next room, too, woke refreshed, their dreams having been particularly sweet and clear. The houseplants in the living room seemed to glow with a renewed vibrancy. Their leaves unfurled in quiet gratitude. 5 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds to 5 hours 0 minutes and 15 seconds. Image prompt: a peaceful domestic scene in the morning light, a cat grooming itself, and a hint of a happy human presence in the background. And Luna, the sleepy cat, the dreamweaver, was now fully awake. She hopped gracefully from the chest, landing with a soft thud on the rug. She stretched one last time, arching her back and extending her tail like a graceful question mark. Then, with a soft purr, she padded silently towards the kitchen, ready for the simple, comforting rhythm of her morning. The house awoke, but not with a jolt, not with a sudden burst of noise. Instead, it awoke with a gentle sigh, a slow unfolding, as if still wrapped in the soft, silken threads of Luna's dreams. The quiet magic of the night lingered, a subtle hum in the air, a whisper of late-night stories that had woven themselves into the fabric of the morning dot. So, as you drift off into your own dreams tonight, remember Luna, the sleepy cat. Remember how her quiet slumber could weave magic into the world, how her dreams could bring comfort and peace to those around her. Perhaps, as you close your eyes, you might even feel a gentle, almost imperceptible ripple of her magic, guiding your own dreams towards tranquility. Tonight, you've heard a bedtime story of quiet heroism, of a sleepy cat, and a profound impact of her peaceful slumber. May your own sleep be filled with such calm and tranquility, guided by the gentle hum of our sleep storytelling. And as the last echoes of this tale fade into the quiet of your room, know that the magic of calm sleep is always there, waiting to embrace you. Sleep well, dear listener, and may your dreams be filled with gentle whispers and comforting warmth. If you enjoyed this relaxing narration, please consider joining us again for our next episode on Calm Nights Audio. Sweet dreams.